morning, good morning, good morning. How are you guys doing today? It is 7:10 in the morning on Saturday, and I am headed to work. Let me tell you guys what I've been doing the last few days. On Wednesday, my daughter called me on Tuesday, and she's like, "Mom, I'm so overwhelmed. They just delivered all the boxes. The new place is much smaller. There's no room to move around. It's floor to ceiling boxes." And she has the 5 boys and Ralph, and she's got to deal with the fact that they got into a car accident with a semi truck, and that they've got to deal with that issue of not having a vehicle, and it was a whole thing. So she just kept saying over and over again that she was overwhelmed. So that was Tuesday night or so. So Wednesday I went to work, and I worked, and I told Pam to cancel my patients for Thursday. So I got off early Wednesday, and it was just by sheer luck. The last 2 patients had something going on, and for one reason or another, they couldn't make it. So that was great. And Pam was like, "Do you want me to go with you?" And Pam, although she is 70 years old, you would never know it. She can run circles around any teenager, seriously, around anybody. So she was like, "You want me to go with you?" And I was like, actually, that would be great, because many hands get the job done, sort of thing. So she went home, dropped her car off because she didn't want to leave it at work for whatever reason. I always leave it at work and go to the airport, but her husband dropped her back off while I finished up the last patient. We came back to my house to grab Logan. And I was going to go up and start cleaning and organizing from, her house is 3 hours away, from 7 o'clock at night till about 11. And then the next day, leave out that evening and get home for Thursday night to go to work on Friday. That did not happen. I got to that house and I was overwhelmed. So Pam and I literally worked from 7 at night till 3:30, 3:45, and then simply, I could not even move anymore. I was moving in slow motion. I was like, "You're very unproductive right now." So Kimberly only lasted till about 12:30. She was done at 1 o'clock. She was just sitting. I said, "Kim, you might as well go to bed." She's like, "You're right." So she went to bed. Pam and I stayed up for a few more hours. And then that was Wednesday to Thursday. Thursday morning at 4, we're in bed, Pam and I. And I tell you what, Pam got up at 7. I was awake, but I couldn't move. That was just 3 hours, and I just couldn't move. I was like, I gotta lay here and let my mind convince my body to get up. So I got up at 8 o'clock. We hit it hard. My baby had so much stuff. And I just kept saying, "Kim, you can't keep all of this stuff." So every time you put something out on the curb, the people would come and get it. I put a antique couch that I gave her out there, and Auntie Shawnee gave her 2 antique chairs. Beautiful chairs, beautiful carvings of flowers and tapestry for the, you know, floral print and all of this. But she couldn't keep that stuff, you know. So I said, Ralph, get the other end of this. So we put it out on the curb. I mean, I looked out the window, not even 15, 20 minutes later, it was all gone. Ralph filled the van from the front seat, let the seats down and everything in the back, and we rolled in these big old boxes. He made 2 deliveries to the post, you know, Salvation Army, Goodwill, whatever it is. And then that wasn't even enough. We had maybe 40, 50 bags of trash, and they, you know, the wrapping papers and everything like that. They put so much wrapping papers, and still broke up a bunch of stuff. The movers did. So yeah, but Ralph needs to make probably about 8 more trips, because I put it all under the carport that needed to go. So we cleared out the dining room, the front room. You couldn't even get in that front room, like it was that bad. The dining room, the front room, Anson's room, who is my oldest grandson, the laundry room, because Ralph had to go get the different power cord. It was a different one for that house, so we had to go get a different power cord. He had to go twice. He had to. So the laundry room, the kitchen, and then the little kitchen nook area. So the 2 closets downstairs were little coat closets. They were like that narrow, you know, those little narrow doors. So only thing could fit in there was a vacuum cleaner. So anyways, we did that, and the whole upstairs still need to be done. Oh, and we cleared out the storage closets, because 3 little storage closets they gave them. One was a good sized storage closet, actually. And so we cleared it out, Pam and I, and put the bikes in there, and the, you know, the pull along thing that you put the littler kids in that you can pull on your bike. We put that in there, and, you know, just stuff like that. Yeah, it was, yeah. So the whole back patio is still loaded with boxes and crates and containers and stuff like that. So she's still got her work cut out for her. So that was done, and then we got on the road at about 1:45, and I made it home about 5:15. And I had to drop Pam off along the right. I got her right on the access road, and her husband came and swooped her up, and then I came home. And my husband was so happy that I came home. So he said to me, so you left yet? And I said, yeah. And he was like, oh, okay. I want you to drive safe and da-da-da-da-da. And honey, I was already pulling into the driveway. I said, I'm already home. And he was like, home where? I was like, I'm already back at the house. He was like, oh. And my body ached so bad. I mean, we literally did, 30 hours worth of work. Oh, so by the way, I got there on Wednesday at 7. So we stayed all of Thursday and we left Friday. So Pam had to cancel the patients on Friday because when I got up Thursday and looked, it just still was so much. I was like, there's no way I can leave her with all of this. You got to feed kids. You can't even get into the kitchen, so. But as a mother, there is no time where you shouldn't help your kids. And if they tell you I'm overwhelmed, then you need to kick in and be that breath of life and, light for them. So that's what I did. Some people, the guy was running right now. It was really hoofing it, huffing. And some people like running. I never liked running. Only time I run is if I'm running away from something in trouble or scared. But, yeah. I normally don't even do that. I normally stand my guard, like, let's do this, like when that dog was chasing me on the bike. I got off that bike. I was like, oh yeah, no, you ain't chasing me, you better get up out of here. So yeah, I just don't like running at all. Never did. I did join the track team when I was a teenager, but I've got like a trick ankle. It just gives out on you, It's probably another reason why I don't like running, but I don't know, I just never cared for that type of exercise. I don't like kicking my feet, so I don't like karate and all of that kind of stuff. I can just say I really don't like anything physical. I just don't. That's probably why I don't like exercising. I just don't like that kind of stuff. And I know that when you work out, you release all type of endorphins and, you feel like you're doing what you need to do in life, Yeah, no. So for all you people that do like working out, power to you. I ain't saying nothing against it. I'm just saying it's not for me. My voice is so hoarse right now. My husband was absolutely incredible. We have this stuff called Tiger Balm that we got from Panama. I think, yeah, we got that when we were in Panama. And so he rubbed it all over my feet because the bottom of my feet on that hard floor she has, everybody was like, oh, my feet, my feet, my feet. So he rubbed it on my feet, and that stuff works so good. So good. So much better than our like Bengay and all that mentholatum crap. This stuff really gets in there and takes the ache out. So he did my feet, my thighs, not my thighs, my calves, and my back. And thank God he did, because I would not be able to move. I got up to go take a pee-pee this morning, and I was just like, oh, I can move. I was moving slow and stiff, but I was moving. I'm going to do that with my mascara because I put it on while I'm driving. I'm looking forward, y'all. I'm looking straight forward. So Willie and I, more Willie than I, are selling our property out in Savoy. And our friend went and cut down the grass because when we went there a few weeks back, a month back actually, we couldn't even get onto the property. Literally, the grass was tall as me. So he had to go out there with his special lawnmower tractor that you get up in and cut down our grass. And let me just tell you, that stuff it's very expensive to have your grass cut. And then, I mean, it's 7 acres, so yeah, it's in the thousands to have it cut. And then he said you need more gravel in the driveway, so semi-truck times 3 has to come and pour gravel down, and that's in the thousands. So just for us to get this property ready, it's going to be real expensive. So Pam and my other client Laura, we have to go and clean that house because, you know, you get all type of rattlesnakes. No, not rattlesnakes. I hope not rattlesnakes, but you get snakes and mice and all of those things come in there and are in there. So we have to go and clear the property, clear the house out. I'd like to sell it without a realtor because those realtor fees are cray-cray. What you have to pay. Now, I don't know if you guys know this. I didn't know it. I knew it, but I didn't know it in detail. Let me just say it that way. All the ins and outs of it. Your primary property, when you sell it, you don't have to pay the property gains tax on it. The gains tax is the difference of how much you bought it for and how much, the difference of what you bought it for and how much you're going to gain on it. That's why it's called gains tax, right? And so we've gained quite a bit on it, over $200,000. So I don't know what the property gains tax is, but I thought one of my realtor clients said it can be like 20%, which even on $200,000 is like $40,000. I don't think it's that much, but I need to look it up. I hope my client make it because it's 7:30 in the morning. And I could have stayed in bed. You ain't gonna make it this early. Pam is here. So anyways, Willie wants to take the sale of that property and buy another property, and you know where, people, you know where. Whereas I'd rather take that money and stick it in the Ecuadorian banks because they pay quite a bit for interest. And we probably will eventually live in Ecuador. Now, my husband said something that sounded very attractive to me. He was like, honey, we could be like digital nomads, you know, where you just set up your computer and work anywhere in the world, right? And you live there for a while, you live over here for a while. And I was like, well, that sounds good to me. Because if truth be told, I get bored. Let me shut my mouth and put on mascara. How come we always go? I get bored staying in the same place. We go on a cruise, and after 3 days, I am ready to go home. That's why I like the short cruises. But not my husband. He don't never want to go home. He likes to stay out when you finally get out. But he was like, honey, we could go to one country, stay there for a year or two, go to another country, stay there for a year or two, you know, just going all over. And I was like, ooh, that sounds good. See the world. Now, mind you, I wouldn't feel this way if my sister was still here, because I'd be wanting to stay close to my sister. Coughing. And my daughter, she said she'd moved to Ecuador, and my son-in-law, he's excited. He's all but there. So, I'm not even gonna put on any eyeshadow. Just gonna go like this. I've got quite a few patients this morning. Basically, I'm working from 7:30 to noon on this Saturday. People that say that always tickle me so when they like, and then we did it on this day. So anyways, wherever I go, I'll take you guys with us. And cleaning out my daughter's house and getting rid of stuff, and even seeing her reaction to the stuff, I was like, why are we so attached to things? The things anchor us, and you can't move around because you have your things, you know? And I have a lot of things that I like, you know? But I guess I have to ask myself, would I rather have my things, or would I rather have my freedom to live life, you know? Pam's looking out the door. Here she comes. So I have to make a decision if we want to purchase a house there, or like I said, I mean, we might want to live in Manta, or we might want to live in any parts of Ecuador. It's huge, you know, Cuenca, or anyways, there's a lot of parts that, and they all are different in that Manta's by the beach, and then there's the mountains, and there's just different regions and different climates, and you know, you've got some parts that snow, you know, even though it's close to the equator, you know. The parts that are further away from the equator, they get snow, lots of snow, you know. And then you have the Amazon, you know, right there, you know. So, yeah. it should be fun. And even not just for myself, but for Logan, you know. And Cameron is such a world traveler, you know, even if it's just in his mind. He loves traveling all over, you know. When we went to Thailand, he's just laying back and enjoying himself, and you know, he's such a serious character. I love him. But yeah, life is going to be very interesting. However long I have, you know, we always think we have such a long life to live. You know, we never think about how short really our life is down here. And we never think about how frail our life is. At least I never really thought about it. But now my eyes are open and I see things so differently, so differently. Unforeseen occurrences befall us all. And you just better live your life. You better live it. All the senseless arguing, you know. It won't even matter. My sister and her husband, they didn't argue. They both were not quarrelers, you know, argumentative, no. So, and she lived to make him happy. So I was thinking about that the other day, and, oh, I'll quarrel with you. You know, if you get on my nerves, I'll let you know. Would you just shut your mouth? You're getting on my nerves, you know? And, of course, that hurts people's feelings and it's offensive or whatever, you know, especially my kids. I'll tell them in a hot minute. My daughter, she get on my nerves sometimes. So just trying to be more mindful of, you know, keeping your bad thoughts to yourself. You know, I haven't mastered it, probably never will master it, but just trying to cut back on being foolish, you know, with my life and my time. Today, I'm going to clean my house, and I'm going to do some diamond art and maybe even a little sewing. We were supposed to be going out to the other house, but my husband came to bed at 5 this morning, so he's probably going to sleep the whole time I'm at work for these 4.5 hours. And then I'm not going to make him drive and do a whole bunch of stuff. I'm just going to go home, make him a good meal, and, you know, take it easy today. So I just need to unwind, but I don't need to do too much physical work because my body ain't going to let me. So that's that, guys. Be blessed. Deuces.